The singing lessons Kathleen Mansfield. The Mansfield in 1888-1923 was the pen name of Kathleen Mansfield Van Camp. She was born in Wellington, New Zealand, but spent most of her short life in England, other country of Europe. She was one of the leading short story writers in the early 20th century. These and other short stories in the garden party and other short stories are among her books. On an autumnal morning, amidst all the youthful validity of the school of Miss Meadows, the music teacher find itself alienated her heart was begging Miss Williamson music teacher finds herself alienated her heart bleeds with a letter from her finance who is begging of the engagement. She is unhappy and angry on recalling the fleeting moments of happiness she cherishes, cherishes the moments when Basil posted to her and moments they shared her heart because beats with the song the fire tends the goddess the sea. Then she receives a telegram which tells her that Basil wants to renew the engagement. She is happy again. The deeper cold, sharp, deeper beard, deep in the heart like a wicked knife. Miss Meadows in cap and gown and carrying a little button trod the cold corridors that led to the music halls. Girls of all ages, rosy from where and whirling over with the gleeful. Excitement was comes from running to school on a fine autumnal morning, hurried, skipped, fluttered by. From the hollow classrooms come a quick drumming of voice and a bell rang and voice like a bird cried, Maril, and then there came from the staircase a tremendous knocking. Someone had dropped her drumbles. The science mistress stopped Miss Meadows. Then she receives a telegram which is readers knock knock knock. Since mistress stopped Miss Meadows. Good morning, she cried in her sweet affected troll. It's indeed cold, it might be winter. Miss Meadows, hanging the knife, stared and hurted at the science mistress. Everything about her was sweet, pale, like honey. You would not have been surprised to see a bee caught in the tangles of that yellow hair. It is rather sharp, said Miss Meadows grimly. The others smiled at her surgery smile, sugary smile. You look for Jane, said he. Her blue eyes opened wide. There came mocking light in the dim. Had she noticed anything? Oh, not quite as bad as that, said Miss Meadows, and she gave the science mistress in exchange for a smile and quick grimace and passed on. Formers 4, 5, and 6 were assembled in the music hall. The noise was deafening on the platform, but the piano stood Mary Brazili, Miss Meadows' favorite, who played accompanist. She was running the music stool. When she was Miss Meadows, she gave a loud warning girl, and Miss Meadows her hands just. She was returning the music school. Miss Meadows had uh, and her button under her gown stood down the satis eyeless, mounted the steps, turned sharply, seized the brass music stand, planted it in front of her, and gave two sharp taps with her button for silence. Silence, please, immediately, and looking at nobody, her glance swept over the sea of colored flannel, blouses with bobbing pink faces and hands, quivering battery hairboards and music books outspread. She knew perfectly well what they were thinking. Mary is in a works. Well, later, when let them think it. Her eyelids quivered. She tossed her head, defining them. What could the thoughts of those creatures matter to someone who stood there bleeding to death, pierced, pierced to to the heart by such a letter? I feel more and more strongly that our marriage would be a mistake. Not that I do not love you. I love you as much as it is possible for me to love any woman. But truth to tell, I have come to the conclusions that I am not a marrying man, and the idea of sitting down fills me with nothing but. And the word disgust was scratched out lightly and irrigate winter written over the top. Basil Miss Meadows stalked over to the piano, and Mary Beasley, who was waiting for the moment, bent forward. Her curls fell over her cheeks while she breathed, "Good morning, Miss Meadows," and she mentioned towards rather than handed to her mistress a beautiful yellow chrysanthemum. This little ritual of the flower that mean gone through for ages and ages, quite a turn and a habit was much part of lessons as opening in piano. But this morning, instead of taking it up, instead of tucking it into her belt, while she learned, was leaned over Mary and said, "Thank you, Mary. However nice." Turn to page 32. What was Mary borrowed when Miss Meadows totally ignored the chrysanthemum? Made no reply to her greeting, but said in a voice of ice, "Page 14, please," and mark the accents well. Staggering moment, Mary blushed until the tears stood in her eyes, but Miss Meadows was gone back to the music stand. Her voice rang through the music hall. Page 14. We will begin with page 14. Eliminate now girls who ought to know it by this time. We shall take it all together, not in parts altogether, and without expression sing it through quit, simply beating time with the left hand. She raised the button, she tapped the music stand wise. Down came Mary on the opening chord. Down came all those left hands beating there, and inflamed rose young, more full voices. First, too fast fade the roses of pleasure. Soon autumn whirled unto winter dear. Lately, music gay music, passes away from the listening ear. But good heavens, what would be done tragic then that lament, lament. Every note was signed a job, a groan of Iwawe mournfulness. Miss Meadows lifted her arms in the white groan and began conducting with both hands. I feel more strongly that our marriage would be a mistake, she beat, and the voices cried flatly, ah, flatly. What could have possessed him to write such a letter? What could have led up to it? It came out of nothing. His last letter had been all about a farm-to-bake bookcase he had bought for our books and pretty little hall stand he had seen. A very neat affair with a carved owl on a basket holding three hat brushes in its claws. How she had smiled at that. So like a man to think one needed three hat brushes from the listening ear, sang the voices. Once again, said Miss Meadows, but this time in parts, still without expression. First, oh, ah, to fast with the gloom of the next part will be soon be edited.